What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
Affordability really kind of like starts with us understanding that housing is a human right and not a privilege that is reserved for like the select few who can afford it. So for us, affordability starts with creating a scenario where you don't have to work 3 to 4 jobs just to be able to afford a studio or a 1-bedroom apartment. It looks like being able to make sure that you and your family are safely housed in an appropriately sized unit as opposed to everyone being cramped into a 1-bedroom. And in terms of accessibility, it also basically looks like for the immigrant population, it looks like making sure that proper language access is incorporated into all programs that would help them, achieve housing stability, making sure that leases and even eviction notices are properly translated so that people understand like what it is that they're going into. Thinking creatively and equitably about those who are most in need and what we can do to help them make sure that they achieve housing stability.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
Those 3 words to me together mean an inclusive community where nobody is excluded because they can't afford to live there. So that means a diversity of housing types open to the full income range. It means inclusive of different racial backgrounds and ethnicities, as well as addressing the disparities that exist right now in say the wealth of people of different racial backgrounds because of discriminatory housing policies in the past. So we can't just go forward and expect equity if we don't address the past harms of previous government policy. So to achieve all of those 3 very commendable goals, I think requires both the forward-looking and the past-looking strategies.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
Para ti, ¿qué significan las 3 A's de vivienda asequible, accesible y disponible?
Estamos en tiempos muy difíciles. La pandemia, la recesión, para la comunidad hispanohablante, en mi caso, yo soy latina, soy peruana, y a todos nos ha afectado demasiado. A veces es difícil llegar al pago de la renta. Debe de ser no solamente también es ser accesible en precios, sino también accesible en lo que tenemos alrededor. Creo que cuando uno busca un recurso, si es de vivienda exactamente, que es lo que se está hablando hoy, lo que trata uno de ver qué tiene cerca, qué network tiene cerca, como hospitales, colegios, un college para estudiar, o sea, abarca todo, que todos podamos tener la oportunidad de tener un acceso de una vivienda justa, ¿no? Toda la comunidad, sin distinción, ni a raza, ni a opción sexual, ni discapacidad, como en mi caso. Todo esto es una gran iniciativa.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
What it means to me is availability of having housing available for everybody at different income levels, different family sizes, different ethnicities. Certainly the city has done some very creative things recently, like accessory dwelling units. And once you have availability, you have to have affordability. We have a large spectrum of workers and residents who all need different types of housing at different cost points, different designs, different sizes, where they're trying to create more accessibility to services so people don't have to go all the way across town. They can have health care nearby, more food resources available. All of those aspects are very exciting, and this planning process, I think, will take us a lot further along the road.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
Just thinking about it in terms of, what this whole housing for all thing is about, addressing some of the historical aspects of our nation's laws that have kept Black people and people of color out of certain communities. Looking at the accessibility aspect is examining some of those things, some of those laws that could potentially now be creating segregation in our communities unknowingly, and making sure that we try to correct some of those things. Specifically in Alexandria, there isn't a ton of vacant land. And so what we're doing is we're building up. It's all about density, making sure that when we do those things, that we ensure that it's affordable, and even create policies and laws that kind of open up that opportunity where we kind of cap certain amounts. Even once people move, that it still remains affordable because their families have lived there for ages.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
I think of it this way. We are trying to find the housing that we need to make this a truly livable and equitable community. Multiple races, multiple income levels, we need everyone. To get there, the housing that we need has to be available. We cannot exclude people on any basis. Secondly, it has to be affordable. We have to make ways for the housing to be affordable even though you are not able to pay market prices. Third, it has to be accessible to all. Everyone should be eligible. We have to solve all of these characteristics in our new housing.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
As a person who migrated to United States, experienced what homelessness is, affordability, accessibility, and availability means human rights to me. Exactly where I located right now, Alexandria West End, people are worried about eviction. I spoke to a parent. She's a single mom. She has one child. She goes to work and it's $1,600 a month. Her rent is $1,400 a month. She does not qualify food stamp or any other government assistance. She only got $200 to pay the rest of the food, the laundry, gas, insurance, phone, and everything. I asked her about this same question. She replied, I care about at least getting $400 less a month about my rent than anything else, where I know I will not be evicted tomorrow. Thank you.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
I think there are a lot of people who need access to affordable housing, or else they'll have to live out in Loudoun County, far away from their jobs, far away from where they could get jobs. There are many, many people who could benefit from having a place to live here. I remember speaking to a young city employee about 10 years ago who was sharing a one-bedroom apartment with 2 other people because this is what they could do to be near their jobs. I know many people, including myself, whose children can't afford to live in this community, which is a shame. I think having been a small business owner at one point, it's a real problem for small business owners who can't find employees because employees can't afford to drive from 2 hours away and work for a wage a small business owner can afford. So that's a big issue, and that touches on affordability too. I mean, they're all so intertwined.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
Para ti, ¿qué significan las 3 A's de vivienda asequible, accesible y disponible?
Bueno, yo pienso que debe de haber vivienda accesible para las personas de nosotros que somos de escasos recursos, que los provean vivienda accesible para los que no ganamos lo suficiente. accesible para la comunidad entera latina, que no ganamos sueldos grandes, sino que ganamos el mínimo, y que el gobierno tiene que pensar en nosotros. Es bien importante que esté a buen costo, porque muchas veces no calificamos porque no ganamos lo suficiente, y tiene que haber a buen costo una buena renta accesible que nosotros podamos construir y pagar y vivir bien con nuestros hijos.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
Yes, basically it means to me a lot as a father with the 3 kids. Affordability in a place for me to raise my kids without having income fear, because we know now after the pandemic a lot of things changed. Everything will rise up. The area or the place where I can take my family around, I'll be able to access for so many different things around the area, transportation, food area, a grocery area. So that's what my affordability, I'm looking into.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
¿Qué significan para ti las 3 A's? Accesibilidad, asequibilidad y disponibilidad.
Porque el mayor problema es la renta, que está muy alta, y algunos de nosotros solo trabajamos para pagar la renta, y nuestro salario no es suficiente como para mantener nuestra familia. Y la disponibilidad es porque nuestra comunidad está creciendo, y pues es la razón de que la renta está muy alta. Y creo que necesitamos la oportunidad que tengamos bajo como las viviendas, porque es importante para la comunidad.
What do the 3 A's of housing mean to you? Accessibility, affordability, and availability.
I think being more inclusive to really taking into consideration our working class families of color. And so how can we be innovative and being creative into policies that will really benefit families